Hello everyone, how y'all doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another Demoscene report video. The date is the 9th of October 2025 and the topic, as always, is all of the latest news and releases from the active Demoscene community. This week in particular, we open with the usual bunch of news and out of competition releases. Then we'll take a quick look at a few small events that happened throughout the end of September. Chimpbembly in Finland, a Limelight in the UK, and a Quantum Oscillation Party online. And then we'll also take a deeper look at the releases from the Deadline Demoparty that just took place this past weekend in Berlin. I actually visited in person, so I still have it fresh in my mind. Thank you all to the supporters who I met there, by the way. You know who you are. Always nice to talk in person again and feel the appreciation for the work that I do with the Demoscene reports here. It was great to meet you all once again. Anyways, as always, everything that I mentioned on this video will also be linked on the description below, plus listed at the DemoZoo forum thread, so everything will be easy to search through and check at your own leisure later on. So, do you have your drink ready? All right, sit back, relax, let's talk some Demoscene. Starting off with this interview that Offman did with Blueberry last week about the no CPU challenge for Amiga demos that they've been hyping up to take place at the GURP demo party, scheduled to take place in Sweden in late January 2026. This interview includes a really cool explanation deep dive on how they did a lot of the no CPU tricks on their invitation demo and the kind of tooling required and library resources that are available to achieve such things. So highly recommended you to check it out if you're planning to participate on the challenge or just curious about Amiga development in general. Then there was the write-up posted by Uris on the making of No Hearts Beat Forever, a 256-byte intro for the ZX Spectrum that won at Chaos Construction a couple of months ago. It's all in Russian, but Google Translator does a decent job out of making it a bit understandable. So yeah, check it out. Check that one out as well. Then it was pointed out to me that I forgot to mention the out-of-competition releases from Mysdata, and there were 3 whole of them released there. Whoops, sorry about that, my bad. So here they are. The first one was a Data demo party invitation done by Fairlight and Genesis Project. Nothing very fancy, just a couple of effects there. Then a little entry by eStudy for the Amiga OCS with some adversarial automaton generation algorithms. Sort of like a game, but I don't really think there was any controls to it. So yeah. And then there was the release of Speed 70 Amiga OCS demo pack featuring releases by the Abyss demo group, also including some articles and interviews with Abyss members themselves, so not just collecting releases into a pack. So yeah, check it out, pretty nice demo pack released there by Nacaller. What else? Hackfest in the Netherlands had a little bytejam session again this year, organized by Xeno Forever and Havoc, and it's listed at livecodemozoo.org. There was the announcement of a Kickstarter campaign for a French movie with a fictional story focusing on a group of friends in the 90s who wanted to make video games and started by attending copy parties in France and making some demos. Might sound familiar if you were a demo scener in the 90s. So yeah, they're making a movie about it. It's all in French, but seems like a very solid project with some household names there involved as well, and has already surpassed the minimum funding requested to get things going. So sum up, I hope to see the movie with English subtitles at some point in time, but you're still in time to support the project. If you are interested in it, go to this website listed below. Meanwhile, in other news, Adrian's Digital Basement did a video on the Acorn Archimedes A420/1, a pretty deep dive on this ARM processor classic if you want to know more about it. I definitely did not know anything about it because I never had one. Then LukHash released a new track called Pixel Crush. He's a member of a few demo groups and a successful chiptune artist name, in case you didn't know. Yi released a report on his visit to Festa Software Livre 2025, an event dedicated to free open source software and surrounding communities that happened here in Portugal just this past weekend while I was in Berlin. He went there with a couple of other Portuguese demo sceners to represent Inertia and the Demoscene community overall, and talk about the use of open source tools and SDKs in creative computing. The report here on this website is all in Portuguese, but Google Translate is also your friend in this case. Paul Falcão, who also attended that event and gave a little workshop on the RayMarching nodes that he has been developing for Material Maker there, took this wonderful opportunity to release an updated version of his library pack of nodes. So yeah, you can check it out on GitHub as well. Another useful Demoscene library that just got an update is ticmctile by Deca of Rift right after Deadline. ticmctile helps you convert images to TIC80 format with a ton of different parameters. It's now up to version 2.4 and it's a very useful tool to have around if you're working on demos for the TIC80 fantasy console in particular. Also updated was sointu, the soft synth tool for 4 kilobyte intros, mostly developed by Pestis nowadays as a fork of the more famous Forkland by Gopher et al. It's now up to version 0.5 sointu and has a ton of new interesting features and a few bug fixes as well. Might surprise you if you haven't been paying attention to the repo, as I haven't. Did you know that you can now use knobs to tweak values in sointu, for example, or receive MIDI notes to help you compose things? A lot of quality of life small updates to enable your 4 kilobyte intro music making projects. Yeah, I need to reserve some time to play around with it a bit more and try to make some soundtracks for 4 kilobytes again. It was also pointed out to me that the release of Paged Out number 7 is out, the October 2025 release, having a few Demoscene mentions on this latest release, where they talked about Paged Out previously on the Demoscene report when the previous number was released, which was back in May this year. It's a zine made by volunteers, mostly around programming and programming tricks, a lot of hacking, security, general computer tech, with a focus on one-page short articles. This October 2025 issue in particular features article by Reg of Altair on how to create modern 4 kilobyte intros in the Demoscene context, and also has a few pages with artwork by Vasyl, who has been releasing pixel art in tons of demo parties recently, if you have been paying attention. So yeah, it was a pretty nice read. I found this one article in particular, which I appreciated in particular, running Doom on an IoT security camera. It's already been out for over a year now. I just haven't been paying that close attention to the but can it run Doom meme space, it seems. But yeah, great stuff to read about. You can check the link here as well. Also fresh uploaded to the internet is this talk by Daniel Thornburg from Vintage Computing Festival Midwest. That is pretty interesting for anyone wanting to target the 6502 with a high-level language like C, C++, Rust. The channel has a few other videos out from this year's event as well, so check those out as well if you're into vintage and retro computer stuff. You'll find more interesting things there. And shout-outs to Trickster of Ornet, who helps organize that event every year. And with that, we end the news section for this week. Let us now take a quick look at the releases from a few smaller Demoscene events. First up, we have Chimpbembly, which I always say the name wrong. It's a small demo party in Tampere, in the more eastern part of Finland. It only had around 25 people attending, and it took place a couple of weeks ago. The releases have finally made their way to Demoscene, so I can finally cover them somehow properly. Chimpbembly is a pretty old event, started originally in '97. Got rebooted in 2010. A small party, like I mentioned, but it always has a few good releases there. They had a total of 8 competitions this year, and it coincided with the birthday of one of the organizers, which name was Arto. So you'll spot a lot of happy birthday releases in here as well. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the different categories. I was also informed that because it was a slash birthday party, the event, there were also some visitors who visited the demo party for the first time ever, because you know it's a birthday party and I know the guy being the birthday person. So yeah, interesting concept for a new kind of outreach for the demo scene. Just organize your own birthday on your demo party to get more people to show up. Anyways, both of the music competitions were won by Elgrima, the birthday boy, the Artu that I was talking about. He won both the 64K music competition and the regular music competition. And no, winning the competition was not one of the birthday presents, or I guess maybe it was. Anyways, the demo competition was mostly some joke productions, including this birthday intro for Artu. And the more serious productions of the bunch was this WebGL demo titled The Broadsword, which was made by Wideload. The drawn or rendered graphics competition also had a lot of joke entries. I'm gonna skip a lot of them and show you the top 3. In third place, there's a Nausicaa character redraw from Studio Ghibli fame. In second place, we had some nice pixel art for the Commodore 64 by Nexar. And the winner was this graffiti piece by Eddie, drawn as a birthday present to Artu, apparently. So yeah, nice little competition winner there. The 4K intro competition had 4 entries overall. The best ones were the top 2, Hardhat by SPQ with a text mode plasma effect, and then Brain Fry for Windows with a simple RayMarching shader scene here. I'm gonna skip the photo competition because nothing very interesting there, and show you instead the entries for the text mode graphics competition with some nice platform diversity overall. The winner was this one, an ANSI entry titled Chrysule by Parkitus. The Wild Compo winner was another 40th birthday present for Artu, this time with a short little video here. Next up, let's take a quick look at Limelight, an invite-only / birthday party of Raccoon Violet, turned into a one-day demo party in London. So yeah, expect a lot of Raccoon references in these releases. And yes, apparently birthday party Demoscene events are now apparently a trend. I, for one, welcome this revolutionary outreach strategy that the Demoscene hive mind is now testing out. Let's see how it works out long-term. Anyways, Limelight only had 3 competitions overall. The music competition was won by Contradictions by Dupd with a track for the Atari 8-bit system. The graphics competition had some pretty nice diversity of platforms as well. Some 3D model here, some executable graphics, joke entry by Freya here, some graphics for the ZX Spectrum, some teletext, some DOS pixel art, MSX pixel art. A second place went to Juvie with his executable graphics entry here for Linux, and the winner was Freya with his image title Come Adventure With Me. As for the demo compo, we had the 6 entries overall in the demo competition. Most of them were fast-made or joke entries, happy birthday messages kind of entries. The winner was Halsey with Rock Marcher here. There was also a video reveal of some new features on JTruck's bytejam tool, which allows people to organize and participate on TIC80 live coding events that we usually refer to as bytejam on the demo scene, and of which the birthday girl Raccoon Violet has organized a few in the past, so it kind of matters to her, the development of this tool, and there are some new features. Meanwhile, in Russia, they decided to organize a few online events, namely the 2nd edition of the Quantum Oscillation Party, dedicated to noise and experimental media for modern and old computers alike. They had a whole bunch of competitions for audio, for static visuals, and for moving things as well, what we usually call demos or real-time executable entries. The only entry on the noise demo competition was an Excel demo with an electro-industrial soundtrack. Not particularly interesting in my humble opinion. Then the old school noise demo competition had a couple of low effort Electronica BK and ZX Spectrum entries as well. The video category had some more interesting experimental things here and there, actually, probably the most interesting of the categories. For me, at least. Then the Wild competition was won by a photo entry here, but was mostly filled with generative AI experiments of different kinds. And the theme for the real-time compo, which is what they call fast competition in Russia, because, I don't know, they're weird like that. Anyways, the theme was internet memes, so you had to make like a noise track using memes in 24 hours or something like that. Not very interesting for non-Russian speakers either. So, yeah. Interesting stuff if you're into noise and experimental media. Probably not so much if you're not, but still worth a mention here on the Demoscene report. Also organized by Russians in October, Grungy in particular, I believe, is the ongoing ZXGFXTOBER 2025 challenge, where every day of October you are giving a theme and you have to draw an image for the ZX Spectrum on that specific theme. Pretty good entries that we had already so far. Nice to see some graphic artists more active on the ZX Spectrum. I'm just going to show you a few images here. So yeah, there's one for every single day of the month. So we are already going quite strong already. And with the smaller events out of the way, let us now take a look at the releases from Deadline Demoparty that just took place this past weekend in Berlin. The theme for this year was B-movie, and it also coincided with the 20 years anniversary of Rabenau Demo Group, so expect a lot of B-movie references and some happy birthday to Rabenau. I was there in person this year, as I mentioned. I had already visited last year. It's a pretty good event overall. Nicely packed, always has some good releases coming out of the different competitions. I highly recommend the visit. They always have great decor. They have a synth corner to fool around with music gear. Free popcorn provided by llvm-mos. Awesome looking trophies that you can even program yourself. Tons of live acts, a screen made of Club Mate bottles. Yeah, it's an experience. I recommend the visit. Let's take a look from the releases of the competitions, starting off with the 256-byte intro competition. And it was quite surprisingly packed with releases. Well, not that surprising. Last year was already pretty competitive as well, but always nice to witness and participate on a packed compo. Last place to Mayday logo for the Commodore 64 here, then my entry illegal implants for the TIC-80, then we had a circular for the Micro W8, some color deadlines for the Commodore 64, a port of Flag Quiz to the Commodore 64 in a 9th place, which was a funny game to play with the audience at the party. Then Mountain Lake by Aurora, nice procedural landscape here as well for the TIC-80. Frac 256 that pierced our ears bloody with the loud sound at the party that it emitted. Star Tunnel by PSCL. Chase the Shapes by Digimind. Nice Ballet by Gasman. And then the top three were Stardust by Plex, Icy Cave also by Plex before the Micro W8, and the big winner of the competition, Wasteland by Marquee Design, and a homage to Shadow of the Beast. Yeah, RayMarching scene on the Micro W8. Congratulations to Super Rogue on winning this one. Very solid little entry there. The 4K executable graphics also had some pretty good participation. A couple of good entries from a writer in particular here. Provolt was also at the party and submitted this image as well. I love the lighting on this one, The Descent by Cedric. Then Farbrush developed a whole new tool chain of sorts using cables to build that entry. They even wrote a write-up about it as well. I'll link it later on. Writer getting third place with "Hey, I'm walking here." Second place to Kloss with another race car image, Rauweldbegriff, whatever the hell that means in English. And the winner was this awesome remote entry from Australia by Timbrugvandi. Yeah, realistic frog in a pond. I love the realistic detail of the stone texture when it meets the water in particular and gets wet. Great image, and apparently his first release on the Demoscene. So yeah, welcome to the Demoscene. The animation video competition did not have that many entries. Last place to Low Freak Early Morning Storm video. Third place to TSA's video with some very bad German humor here. Second place to a psychedelic horror fun video by Bus Error Collective and a Teletype Corporation. And the clear winner of the competition was Give It a Twirl by No Gap No Bacteria, with some very high quality footage of those plastic thingies that go down the stairs. I have some for Racket, but fuck me if I know what they're called. So I actually looked it up, and apparently they're called a slinky. So yeah, they made a high quality slinky capture. Cool video. Congratulations on winning the compo to No Gap No Bacteria. Meanwhile, Deadline heard you like trophies, so they also had a trophy for programming the Deadline trophy. If you win the Deadline trophy, you can program the Deadline trophy and win a trophy of Deadline for having programmed the trophy. They open sourced the SDK and tools that they use to develop the LED strip animations on the trophy, which was a pretty cool idea, all jokes aside, but only about 1 week before the event took place. So I was actually looking into it to see if I could hack something together, but I concluded that I needed an ESP32 chip to flash with something to work. Even if there is a simulator available, I think you still need the chip, which I did not have around. So yeah, and this might also explain why not so many people participated on this cool competition. The competition was easily won by QM here, which was also the developer of the SDK. So we already had a bit of an advantage in that regard. He even used sound and stuff like that because the ESP can also respond to FFT audio analysis and stuff like that. So yeah, the only other entry was Losso horsing around. So yeah, he didn't really stand a chance there. But yeah, hope to see more entries for this next year, with people having more time to dedicate themselves to the whole SDK behind needed to participate on the competition. I think the idea of the competition and the trophy itself are really awesome. So yeah, curious to see what people submit next year. Then they had the fast painting competition. You sit down at a table in the party place with actual paintbrushes and canvas and draw your B-movie inspired piece. The winner was Oni, but I'm gonna take my sweet time reaching there to show you all of the entries here. So yeah, the winner was Oni of Poobrain with some aliens in the closet banner, apparently. Freestyle Graphics was also won by Oni. Let's take a quick look at that one as well. Special mention to Ollie on the second place here, doing some lino cut printing project. And yeah, the winner was Oni with a murder made here. So congratulations to him. I'm going to skip the Lego Fun compo and talk about the Mate animation instead. Interesting platform, a LED wall made out of Club Mate bottles, some 40 by 16 pixels. You need some good pixel art contrast for things to be recognizable there. A lot of entries were just a mushy mess. The clear winner was Oni again, so I'll show you in a minute that one. Is this one. So yeah, Godzilla going brrrr. Pretty good entry here, a lot of attention on the pixel art as well, and good contrast on the Godzilla that makes it really stand out on the display. They also had a similar competition, but for static images, only 4 entries there. It was won by Hene here with an Abyss Connection logo. The No Soundtrack challenge was a fast competition to make demos telling a compelling story in 30 seconds or less without using any audio soundtrack whatsoever. All of the entries were made in a hurry and screened anonymously, although you kind of could tell some of the creators were by their signature traits. I knew about like 4 of them just without even trying. It was actually a fun side game to do, is like trying to guess who the person is behind the production. Anyways, they had a lot of joke entries. The winner ended up being Emphis with a Novice Noir, a demo for the TIC80 done in a couple of hours with a ton of scenes. Pretty nice work overall. Well done, Emphis. Then we had the old school demo competition, a very long compo with 17 entries overall and a lot of scroll text that you had to read because there was nothing else to do for those 3 to 5 minutes of showing the entry. Most of them were single screen demos, Resistance with another vanilla Amiga 1200 demo here, some Commodore 60 demo by Slackers and Mayday, Game Boy demo referencing Serial Experiments Lane, which I'm a very big fan of. The Perfect Party by Padua was an invitation to Transmission 64 online party that will take place in late November. Zymosis demo for the Commodore PET here that doesn't have a screenshot. Desire doing the Rotozuma challenge on the Acorn Archimedes. Atlantis with a little Commodore 64 animation demo, TRSI with a Commodore 64 birthday demo for Rabnaug, and a new Amiga crack throw as well. The return of Amigals doing some copper list magic drawing lines with some blur diffusion trickery there. I guess they are practicing for participating on the No CPU challenge at GURP, I would guess. A cool demo titled Impressions here. In second place, we had Okuto Force with a funny Petsky animation demo, just an old knob. And the winner by a very large margin was a Pet Peeve, a massive demo for the Commodore PET put together by Crest Plush and Rabnaug, taking advantage of their Mode 8 that they've been finding or unraveling. There was actually a presentation about that at Evoke earlier this year. The old school graphics competition had 14 entries overall, with a handful of funny entries on the bottom half here. In sixth place, we had Brain Eaters by Primek for the Commodore 64, was one of the more serious entries. Then a nice entry for the Game Boy as well. It came from the Demoscene by MG0X7BE. Hairdog pixeled Japanese girl here. CP pixeled dressing room in a tent with a lot of work on the shadows here for the limitations of the Amiga palette. So really nice to see the steps on this one. Second place to Misha with his cyberpunk inspired image data breach protocol. And then also for the Amiga remote submission by Stefest, the lonely remoter watches the stream. Some top pixel art artwork here. We're the winner of the competition, in my humble opinion. Congratulations, Stefest. The old school music competition was won by Vincenzo of Lethargy, and we are reaching some of the most anticipated competitions of the party, for me at least, starting with the 4 kilobyte intro competition. A couple of compo filler entries at the end here. The third place went to DDL Blue with a little ambient cloud vortex shader scene. Second place to this massive ambient 4K by Writer. The intro takes its sweet time to develop the mood, but it totally delivered. Great soundtrack, perfect slow pacing matching the soundtrack. Some people commented that they wish it was shorter or faster. They don't know what they are talking about. This was perfect pacing for what it was aiming at. Loved it. Great intro. And in first place, we had another killer, a 4K intro by llvm-mos. Very stylish and clean aesthetic. First time I recall hearing drum and bass on a 4K synth. Well, apart from that Chaos Theory 4K remake that KK of Altair did quite a few years ago. And for good reasons. In a packed 4K, every byte counts, and you usually don't really afford to spend those many bytes in many sounds or complex sequences. They are kind of required for a drum and bass track. Anyways, great intro, very well done, llvm-mos, keeping up the trend from having won the 4 kilobyte intro compo last year as well. And then we had the PC demo competition with a couple filler, the mandatory Farian entries, this psychedelic slug here. Getting 5th place, MFX released Hypnosis, a demo made using Tixel instead of cables, what they usually use on other MFX demos of late. Some bagger soundtrack on this one, some nice visuals. It felt like they kind of ran out of time or ideas to top it off this time, but still I really love the track and the visual aesthetic on this one overall. So yeah, some pretty good ideas here by MFX. 4th place went to Rebels, testing some effects with some point cloud animations on a few professional yet uncredited dancers. Looked pretty good, but a bit of a one-trick pony sort of demo here. 3rd place went to Satori with Zeroed, dark demo with this electro-industrial with sidetrack vibes sort of track from Chaser. Kind of political, kind of conceptual, still kind of abstract, very hard to put a label on it. It's Satori. Mixing a few different aesthetics, but still managing to keep it cohesive. Pretty solid demo by Zden and his friends here. Considered by some people the best demo of the competition overall. So yeah, check it out. In 2nd place, we had Andromeda Software Development with a very introspective conceptual demo. Ambient soundtrack, thousands of particles floating around, really good looking. The music played with an audio bug during the party, which gave it a weird glitch sound, which I kind of liked actually. But yeah, I'm known for liking glitch sounds, but it wasn't supposed to sound like that. The proper version has some much cleaner pads instead. Still retains the immersion aspect and introspective aspect of the demo overall. A rather short demo, but very soulful and meaningful. I really liked the Outer Darkness quite a lot here. And the winner demo by 1x of Still. Alternate Tone is the name, was made using Still's tool. Tixel. Pretty solid demo, some clean scenes with some beautiful particles, nice progression ideas, some tight drum and bass soundtrack there. Not my favorite from the compo, if I'm being honest, but a good demo for sure, and I can understand how it ended up being voted to win the competition this year. Congratulations to 1x and Still. The text mode competition had a ton of releases as well for multiple platforms. Some interesting stuff here, both ANSI, ASCII, and PETSCII. I particularly like these two big columns by Yop and Go280. A few interesting things. The mandatory clap-toed raunchy PETSCII scene. A lot of interesting stuff. Only here also with a conceptual variant destruction ANSI. More PETSCII stuff, a few Amiga and DOS ANSI art. I really love this orc face by Hammerfist here, very good redrawing. A Magician getting 2nd and 3rd place with a PETSCII and an ANSI respectively. And the winner by 1 point was Louisa with this B-movie poster ANSI picture, The Gill Man. The themed photo competition also had a lot of creative entries in them, including a few posters, a monster toy scene recreations. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of them. Some posters again. I really like this one in particular. This one is also great, a great idea by Messi and Ollie here with an actual recreation photo. Second place to TMA with his homage to the Abyss, I would guess. And the winner was nullok with his tribute to vintage Godzilla movies. Just a few more categories before we wrap things up for Deadline. The 3D competition using red and cyan glasses is a staple of Deadline. Not much participation though. The clear winner was a Rift with diorama drama and a neglyphic 3D zombie demo for the TIC-80. Nice idea, careful attention to making the elements really pop, taking advantage of the depth effect. Congratulations Rift on this one. The tracked music competition was won by Hoffman with the track called A Love Like This. And last but not least, we had the wild competition for all the entries that didn't quite fit the other categories, including some less known or common Demoscene platforms. Last place went actually to a video of a treasure hunting challenge to find the little ducks on the party place. Then we had an invitation for the winter edition of a Silly Venture that is taking place in Poland this November, which I didn't quite understand why wasn't shown at the old school demo competition, but okay, whatever. 7th place to the first time release by Anon Monk with a demo for an old Mac machine that was gifted to them. So yeah, nice little small demo here. Welcome to the Demoscene. 6th place to a music list by Phase Melters, I believe also their first Demoscene executable release production. Nice music and idea for interface. Not much happening visually though, wish there was like some sort of audio visualization effect there somewhere. 5th place to the second volume of Textual Healing by the Twitch Elite with a kind of art pack slideshow for the Amiga, showcasing different text mode art, not just the Amiga, ASCII and ANSI, but also Petsky and Teletext. Cool soundtrack as well, including one of the tracks that was released at the party as well on the track music competition. Banger of a release. I'm a must-see if you like text mode art and you own an Amiga. Really cool and a lot of effort put into this one. 4th place went to an invitation demo for Inertia Demo Party 2025, made entirely using vanilla PowerPoint, with no scripts being used. Yes, demos in PowerPoint are a thing. Please don't forget to come to Inertia, 6 to 7 of December 2025, and Arvest will tell you all about how you can do demos with PowerPoint. Then we had a couple of TIC-80 masterpieces. First Emphis with a techno banger demo titled Orion. Very fitting for Berlin, I would say, this techno demo. I love the vibe of the soundtrack and the visual aesthetic overall. And then we had Spectrox in second place with a massive demo using music by Virgil. Immense attention to details on these scenes, a good use of the palette limitations of the TIC-80 as well. Had this very cool old school vibe to it on the scenes, but all very polished up and taken to the next level. Old school done right, not boring at all to watch and experience. Very tight call for the second TIC-80 demo of the year, in my opinion, going up against Grow by Often Hide, which got second place at a revision competition. But this demo did not win the competition at Deadline because Svoli had been working on this LED screen demo for his Sorbos computer, a custom platform based around the 6502 chip that he's been developing for a few years now. Funny little demo with a lot of different small scenes, a lot of them referencing music and video game pop culture. Congratulations, Shayash, on winning the Wild Demo competition at Deadline. So yeah, that's it from Deadline this year. You can find the videos of all of their events on their YouTube channel. There were also some write-ups already online for a few productions, like for Wasteland of a marq design that won 256 byte intro, to Fjord by Farbrausch for the 4K executable graphics entry made using cables and transformed into STF and stuff. And for Svoli's 1K LED entry running on custom hardware machine that I just talked about. Also, a cute thing that I found while digging through who actually are some of the new authors that released at Deadline. The remote submission that won the executable graphics competition was made by an Australian person who speedruns Age of Empires 2 on a regular basis, and at some point he wrote a script for Age of Empires 2 to render a 3D scene there. yes, Age of Empires 2 as a demo platform. Even though you only get 1 pixel per second, I still approve of this wild and senseless initiative. Well done, Timbrogvandi, if that's how you say your name. And yeah, that's it for this week's report. No major events happening this week, but there is a Demoscene talk happening at a retrocon in Tampere this weekend. So yeah, check it out if you're in the area, I guess. Other than that, thank you so much for watching one more episode of the Demoscene report. Sorry for speaking so fast. There was so much content to give you this week. Thanks fly out to Super Oak for this background effect that we used as well. And as always, I hope you found something interesting. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the link with a friend, and maybe come to Inertia Demo Party 2025, happening in Almada, Portugal, 6th to the 7th of December 2025. Wait, I was supposed to ask for Patreon donations, not plug a Inertia Demo Party. I got carried away there. If you want more Demoscene reports, please consider donating me something through patreon.com/psenough or through my Amazon wishlist, which is also linked on the description below. So yeah, that's it from me. See you again in a couple of weeks. Until then, hope you watch some good demos. Have a great day. Take care.